Today we'll make a cocktail from Spritz, Italy's most iconic aperitivo cocktail, with recipes by Talia Baiocchi and Leslie Pariseau. I've always loved the artwork for this book. I think it's one of the best looking covers for any cocktail book. And while the recipe today is from the book, I didn't actually find the recipe in the book. I found it by Googling Cocchi Americano Tiki drinks, and there was only one real result. Shore Leave Sprtiz was created by Matthew Bellinger, and it's his take on a tiki spritz inspired by Don the Beachcomber's Navy Grog. It's not really spritz season right now, but I have a fresh bottle of Cocchi Americano that I want to use for a few other things. And once you open one of these aromatized wines, vermouths, etc., the clock is ticking. You don't have a lot of time to use these. I'm not that precious about vermouths, but I will not waste any Cocchi Americano. For this one, you'll need soda water, allspice dram, vanilla syrup, honey syrup, fresh grapefruit juice, fresh lime juice, gin, and Cocchi Americano. We're gonna build everything in a shaker tin except for the soda, starting with half a teaspoon of allspice dram, half a teaspoon of vanilla syrup, half an ounce of honey syrup, 3/4 ounces of grapefruit juice, 3/4 ounces of fresh lime juice, half an ounce of gin, and 1.5 ounces of Cocchi Americano. Garnish with a slice of grapefruit and a cinnamon stick. All right, let's try the Shore Leave Sprtiz. While it is January right now, this is a perfect summertime drink. I love Cocchi Americano. It has this like wonderful bitterness, the quinine that you're gonna get from like a gin and tonic with those citrusy notes. There's like even a little bit of juniper in Cocchi Americano. You really probably want to use a bold gin here. So using a Plymouth gin that has, some more of those like earthy notes. And it's almost just like a hint, a wispy hint of Don the Beachcomber spices. You get the honey and the vanilla and the allspice dram. So you get those like quintessential Don the Beachcomber spices, as well as the grapefruit. The only thing that's not in here, to add to those Don flavors, is cinnamon syrup. We're garnishing with cinnamon, but there's no cinnamon in the drink. But overall, I love this. I just think it's really cool to be bringing in Cocchi Americano to the tropical tiki world and creating a cocktail like this. But I happen to, in this very moment, have some clarified grapefruit and clarified lime juice. So I'm gonna make another version of this, exactly the same, but we're gonna use clarified juices instead. Three-quarter ounces of clarified lime juice, and 3/4 ounces of clarified grapefruit juice. Half an ounce of gin, 1.5 ounces of Cocchi Americano. Add a little soda now. Let's try the clarified juice version. It's not an exact one-to-one comparison, so I don't want to say that one is better than the other. Tastes the same. I didn't measure my soda water into either one. So, you know, there's different dilution there, different types of ice, but just showing another use case for the clarified juices. If you have any on hand, you're going to get a fizzier drink by having, you know, less ice inside of this glass. We have larger ice cubes compared to hundreds of smaller pebble ice in this one. And then having the clarified juices as well means that the carbonation is going to last a little bit longer. But both these are great. So if you have those clarified juices on hand, here's another use case for you. The Shore Leave Sprtz, a great use of Cocchi Americano, which is my absolute favorite of the, you know, fortified, aromatized wines of vermouth category. If you've not had it, it's one of those ones where you will use that big bottle. So pay a little more for that larger bottle as opposed to the small ones. But when it comes to vermouths, if you can get those smaller bottles and the price is somewhat similar to the larger bottle, you know, if you're paying a little bit more than half price for a smaller bottle, I'd encourage doing that unless you go through a lot of vermouth. I end up keeping it in my fridge for months and throwing it away. So I think it makes more sense to spend a couple bucks more and buy yourself 2 bottles of a small vermouth and, you know, keep one on the shelf and one in the fridge. That way you always have some fresh vermouth on hand. So an excellent use of my favorite Cocchi Americano, this one from the Spritz book. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like below, consider subscribing to the channel, and otherwise I'll see you on the next one.